Wraggy's beer review. It's been a while. I don't think I've done a live beer review in months, to be fair. I've done a live Wraggy's tap room thing, but never a live beer review. So, be interesting. Be interesting if anybody actually fucking shows up. But I'm actually reviewing one of my own homebrew beers anyway. So, we'll see if YouTube puts the notifications out. It is what it is. If they don't, they don't. I'll just review, drink the beer, chill out, and go back up the ass. So, tonight, did I not, can't remember now if I've put this as bloody, I don't know if you can change the settings. Hold on a minute. Yeah. No, it doesn't say. Okay. So, no idea if I'm live or not. But in any case, so the Wraggys Imperial Stout, 11.5%, made using Love Brewing's Imperial Russian, I'm not going to call that word, Stout kit. 40 quid for the kit. Added 2 bags of sugar to the kit, to the brew, and at the top end it would have come out at probably 13%. It didn't quite brew to plan, so it came out at 11.5. 11.5 though is still a decent whack in anyone's day and age, and it's been maturing now for several weeks, and I'll let it brew for a long time, and yeah, we'll see how it pours. So now we've got a little bit of a pop. And good evening, Mark. How are you? So the wife's doing a cake, and I thought I'll come down the shed, do an impromptu live, and mainly just drink a beer. And if anybody's around, have a talk. You know, didn't schedule it or anything like that. So the likelihood is sometimes you do these and no one shows up, and YouTube's crap with notifications anyway. But lovely looking black pour. It really shows off the Emperor's Brewery glass. The glass is it's cost me 15 quid. 15 quid for a glass. And lovely black pour. Bit of a light tan head going on. Proper, for me, that's a proper Imperial Stout head. Most decent Imperial Stouts don't have much of a head on them. I don't know why, but they don't. They don't seem to anyway. So it's my 11.5% Wraggys Imperial Stout. Basically, it's Love Brewing's kit, ramped up a bit with ABV, you know, for the ABV from, I think it's about 8.5, what they standard, and I ramped it up to 11.5. Still got all the same taste though, and for an own brew kit, stunning own brew. The nose is sublime, you know, it's and obviously this really isn't the temperature to drink it at. The warmer it is, the better to drink an Imperial. I've been home, yes, ended up to Leeds, yeah, fair play. I've been brewing beer now for probably 17 or 18 years. In fact, probably longer than some of the actual brewers that brewed the commercial stuff, which is weird, isn't it? You know, still as crap as ever. But with this kit, absolutely stunning for what it delivers. I mean, what you pay for an Imperial Stout in pubs or tap rooms, you know, anything upwards of 10, 12 quid a pint, to get something equivalent for a quid. Good evening. Yeah, to get something equivalent for a quid. Bloody amazing. And this chocolate, coffee, leveriness, booziness, the complexities are just absolutely off the charts with this. The only downside is I've only got 40 pints and I've drank, well, a fair bit already. So I'm going to have to brew some more. And I can see that being you know, replicating that through the year, just going out and buying another kit and keep going along. I think as expensive as it is for me to brew in a homebrew fashion, it's equally as expensive for anybody who's a grain brewer. Am I a farmer? No, no. Well, I don't like farmer. Gardener, so not far away. Gardener, yeah, yeah. Not a farmer. No, no. They work silly hours. Yeah, sod working silly hours. I don't mind doing an 8-hour shift, but I'm not doing no more than 8 hours. No. And in today's farming, phew, tough environment to be in. Although depends how you work it. My friends next door, they're farmers, and they, phew. Good evening, Henry. Coconut in it. Do you know with these Imperial Stouts, I'm thinking of doing different things all the time. So I've split this Imperial Stout 40 pints into 8 sections, and I've done a whiskey Imperial Stout that I've reviewed, Tia Maria rather, a choc fudge brownie. This is the standard, so this is just 11.5% all in. And you know, this playing around with kits and making your own balmy flavours, and you are a garden. A gardener, not a garden, but yeah, you know, playing around with kits is so interesting. Good evening, Benjamin. I've been out working today in the garden, been out doing other gardens, and I thought I'd stop on for half an hour. Wife's up the house doing cakes. I've done a load of cleaning, as you do, and then I thought, wow, we'll have a beer. And I reviewed an 11.5% triple chocolate earlier. I've chucked the bloody can there. And so I thought, wow, 11.5% sessionable beer. So, yeah, here we go. Yeah. Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Big match. See, I garden at work and a garden at home. And I'm like, in a strange way, I'm getting paid for doing my hobby. And I suppose in the same way, it's like people who work in breweries. If brewing beer was your hobby before you got the job, then you will always have a love of that job because you're doing your hobby. And in any job, if you can do a job that's your hobby, you're going to know. It's my, oh mate, it's my grandson's birthday tomorrow, so I'm bloody hoping to get back home for 6 o'clock. The birthday party's at 4 o'clock, so I'm hoping it don't flipping go on for too long, to be honest. But yeah, busy day. I'm can't find where it is. There we go. Jameson's whiskey with orange zest. Yeah, I've seen that at Morrison's. Yeah, I am interested in that. Like, you know, whiskey and orange. It's interesting that whiskey's going down the gin route. Greetings from Norway. Hey, hope you're well in Norway. Cannon Hall Farm. Could spend 100. You could, mate. At some of these places when you go. City Ground for 3 p.m. Oh, go and say hello to the navigation guys. They'll be down there. Navigation Brewery guys. They've got a pop-up bar down there. Your hobby's drinking beer. Same as mine. Yeah, that's why I do beer reviews. Yeah, Navigation Brewery down there tomorrow. I don't know if any of the brewers will be. I don't think the brewers will be down there, but somebody will be down there from the brewery, and they've won some awards this week, so all good. Which pubs do you go to before the Forest match? Out of curiosity, Embankment, Navigation, Chuck Navigation, Stratford Avon, is it? I can't remember the name of the pub. Weatherspoons, Trentby Gin. Although I'm not really keen on the Trentby Gin, to be honest. It's too busy. And the beers, to be honest, half the time are substandard. But there you go. Biggest match for Forest for many a year tomorrow. Yeah, we've got some injuries, sadly. Some key injuries. But Grabban went out. Other players stepped up. And I do think that the buzz in the squad, that other players will. Confidence and positivity flow. You get somebody who's mega positive, mega confident, and he just, that positivity just flows out. And Forest are playing out of their skins at the moment. We don't know we're beaten. And even the other night, went 1-0 down, I thought, oh, here we go. We're going to cop it tonight. We're going to lose against QPR. Bloody won 3-1. Beat Reading 4-0. And, it's amazing how how that's flowing out there. And, if I was Liverpool, I wouldn't be sending their B team. You'd want to be sending your big people out. It would be a mistake to send the second team. Their second team may still be good enough, to be fair, because probably mega £1 million players. But it will be interesting nonetheless. But anyway, back to the beer. Gotta say, if anybody's in Nottingham anytime soon, these Imperial Stouts I've brewed are just off the charts lovely. And I think for the rest of the year, I'm going to be brewing big beers and putting them to one side. So if people are near me in Nottingham, want to come around for a beer, and I'm good with that, because the beer community for me, it's not just about the beer reviewers, it's about all the beer community. And there's some cracking people in this community we've got. And to meet up for a pint, and then again, you won't want a pint of this because you'd be steaming. Well, you'd be on your way, let's put it that way. I've never brewed a beer that tastes as good as this. Never. Not in, 15 to 17 years of brewing at home brewing. Never brewed anything quite as good as this. The Love Brewing kit is stunning. Going to do the barley wine kit soon. I don't know if I've killed the conversation or what here. There you go. Good evening, Thomas. Good evening, Darren. And good evening, Bramall. Didn't even know anybody was talking. I'm chatting away. The comments aren't showing up. Castile Rouge. Oh, a marble pint in your local micro pub. Hey, fair play, mate. Wow, I did hear about the Leeds match. It was stunning, their win. Cloudwater Chubbies. I keep hearing about that. That's a new hype beer, isn't it? Bubbles. Make it down the stairs. Bubbles. I don't know that one. So there we go. I can see the comments now. It's funny how the comments just disappear on you. There we go. Yeah, delivering in Nottingham on Monday. Hey. Ugh, I'm back at work Monday. Sadly back at work. Looking forward to the beer festivals this year. And, beer festivals and pub outings. I've said to the wife, we need to get out more. Have I got a new puppy dog? No chance. No, no, no. Still got the old man. He's outside at the moment on the decking, um, trawling around the decking. No, I don't know if we will get a new puppy. To be fair, first bird in that 7.5%. Fair play. I think what did I review earlier? I reviewed a 5% earlier. I think it was 5%. God knows. Then I reviewed a 10.5%, and now 11.5% Wraggys. Probably the last one of the night. But you never know, because I may well go out and get another beer. It is Saturday after all. You're allowed another beer on Saturday. It's not like in the week where I've got to get up for driving in the morning. I can take my time and chill. Next week starts the old theme park season. Anybody out there who likes theme parks? The UK theme parks are really ramping themselves up. After 2 years of very quietness, obviously because of COVID, they are really starting to come out. I love puppies, I do. I'd love a puppy, but we can't have a puppy around our old dog. And I don't know if we'd be able to, the heartbreak of losing a dog, and you can tell he's on a downward spiral. But he's still got his marbles for the most part, at least. He always was a bit daft, but yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Pets are like family, and it's funny with pets and with people as well. With people, they start off as babies. You wipe their arses, you clean up after them, feed them and whatnot, and then they go through life. End of their life as an old person, you're back to wiping arses and feeding them, and the same thing as with dogs and that. So now he's shitting inside, he's pissing inside, and you're trying to get him to the back door and get him out to do his wheeze and poos. And puppies. Oh dear. I've been watching some WWF recently. Obviously, oh bless. Not easy losing dogs. Dogs are pets, aren't they? They're like family. But yeah, the bad man, Razor Ramon, died the other day, didn't he? Scott Hall. And I'll always remember him for what him and Kevin Nash did when they went to WCW as the outsiders and started raiding the ring. And that storyline was one of the best wrestling storylines. Sounds like I've had a few. No, just two. Fucking hell. Better watch what I do when I go back up the house then. Keep it quiet. Yeah. I've got a steak to cook, so I'll be all good. He says. Bollocking coming. It happens twice a week. Although fair play, I've not had a full-on red card for a while. Yeah, I've been pretty good. Yeah. I think she's realised that I'm a good person at heart. I mean, we have been married for nearly 24 years this year, and been together 31 years. So I think she knows that I'm a good person. Well, try to be at least. You're as good as you can be, aren't you? Yeah. I can remember when. Good evening, Miles. How are you, matey? I can remember a time when I would only drink about 3 times in a year. Yeah. And even then, it'd be a couple of lagers twice a year and a little drink at Christmas. How times have changed, I think through my 20s and 30s, when certainly when we were a young married couple and we didn't really go out because we couldn't afford to go out. So we'd just be at home all the time and we wouldn't drink at all, And then obviously, at least 14 years ago. Yeah. And the garden's going to look amazing by this time next year. I mean, it looks good now, to be fair. It looks good now. By next year, when I've got when all the pieces of the jigsaw coming together, it's going to look stunning. I'll make sure it bloody does and all. And, you know, I want the hotel to win awards for the garden. Because obviously, in the grand scheme of things, not that my name will be mentioned, hopefully, but, you know, you can take pride in that fact. So, enjoying the beer. Oh, I do miss, I do miss doing the live beer reviews every day. Sadly, it got too much for the wife in the end, me being down the shed for anything up to an hour to 2 hours per night. And yeah, it kind of pissed her off a bit. And so and also it was getting too much anyway, to be fair. But I will keep banging out the lives, but it's more random than it is, a certain time every day. I mean, to be fair, I bloody hate Emmerdale Farm and Coronation Street. So coming down here to get away from them is good for me. Cocoa Nutter. Heading with Little Critters Stout. Little Critters Brewery is that. The bell. It's a good bell as well. Yeah. And that was bought, I think it was Lee Allsop who bought that and actually sent it to me. And, it was really kind of the beer community. I need to get some little critters. I've seen their beers online to buy a mixed set, and they're not too dear either. I need to do some different brewery beer halls at some stage and explore what's out there. It's all about exploring new beers, isn't it? Supermarkets are good, but it does get stagnant. I mean, I went into Tesco's today. Nothing new, nothing interesting. Don't really want to go over old ground with beers. Only if I'm doing a beer versus beer, then it's worth that. I do want to go to Asda probably the next week, see what's there. Good evening, Craig, in London, matey. Over at the in-laws. Imperial Stout for a £5. That's not a bad price when you think about it. I mean, this beer alone cost £1 for a pint to brew, or a bottle even. And that's home brewing it, not doing it on a mass scale. Although, if you used to sell this, you'd have to add VAT and all the duty on. So it'd end up about £4 anyway, minimum. So it just goes to show you what the government take. And have you noticed with the price of petrol and diesel that the government are very, very quiet? The government aren't saying fuck all at the moment. So Little Critters is from Sheffield, not far away from me, only about an hour up the road. I do want to this year, when we're going to theme parks this year, and we will be going to some theme parks, hopefully, in between beer festivals and saving up for flipping wedding vows. But I do want to go to local brewery shops and beer shops, bottle shops, and try and get as many different beers as possible, and trying to seek out local bottle shops, because obviously in every city, town, there's bound to be a shop that's selling beers. £1.77. Shit in Ada. We paid £1.72 for a diesel yesterday. £1.72. Frightening. The only problem is that it's going to take a while to go back down. The price of oil's already going back down, but it takes a while before we feel the effects of it. Did they? The British government needs to do the same. Because obviously Ireland's only so big. But the British government needs to do the same because it's just killing the population. You know, they're already earning plenty of bloody money. I know. I'm the same, mate. Good evening, Mr. Hophouse. How are you? I'm the same. It's we've got Alton Towers tickets, season tickets. So we've already paid for the season tickets. And we factored in about 20 quid for petrol there and back, you know. But you think to yourself, Jesus, Healers. Yeah, Healers are the people that make Rattlers cider. Hey. But at the moment, you know, you're looking at journeys and you think, dare I make that journey? I mean, with work, I only go to the faraway workplace twice a week. Rattlers is beautiful. Yeah, proper decent cider. But hopefully the government will get the Saudis and even the Iranians to start delivering us some bloody oil. Oops. There we go. Oh, that's better. 4-pack of M&S Vocation American Pale. Hey, fair play, fair play. I do like Vocation. Vocation Brewery, you mean? They are a stunning brewery. Styroproman, nice. I tried to get Styroproman at my workplace, but yeah, they for one reason can't get it for whatever reason. So you have to buy the premium stuff. And you won't run on E10. Ouch. I mean, to be fair, the expensive stuff is better for your engine, whichever petrol car you've got. But, phew, so crack on with the beer. But yeah, Atom Honeycomb Stout. Whoa. As long as what you're drinking tastes nice, for me, it's all about the taste, not just about the ABV. Obviously, I'm drinking 11.5%, so it's a little bit on the strong side, as you can guess. But taste means so much. Don't want to be drinking something that tastes shite. I mean, I remember when at work we had this 3 litre bag of Merlot, and it was 3 quid, so it was like 75 pence a bottle. Took it home, couldn't fucking drink it. Like 2.5 hours on one glass, sipping it. It's like, oh, oh. Nowadays I could probably neck the old glass. Pride and Joy with a different name on. I do wonder that, you know. You see that so often. Amstel. Do you know, Craig? You know, sometimes it's just nice to get out of the. If you're drinking these every day, Imperials, then you'll welcome something different. Same with everything, you know. You don't want to be drinking the same stuff day in, day out. IPAs. There was a time last summer when I was absolutely bloody sick to death of IPAs. And it transpired at that time when Cloudwater's IPAs were at Tesco's. Hey, good evening, Thomas. Yeah, I'd like to do some more drinking abroad. I must admit, going in local boozers abroad. Like, I mean, we love Spain, so going to the Spanish, going to Catalonia, but going in the Spanish part and drinking in their boozers and see what they drink. You know, that to me is really interesting. Obviously, I'll be shit with the language. You know, I know hola, hola. That's about it. You don't think you'd ever be sick of IPAs? Oh, good evening. So, for Nottingham Forest fans, the big one tomorrow versus Liverpool. Are we going to get slaughtered? Let's hope not. No. I'd like, if we're going to lose by a thin margin. But then again, if you lose by a thin margin, would you be thinking, we should have beat them? Or can we win? Can we beat Liverpool? Always a big thing. Can I pay IPA? Never heard that one, matey. Traditional beers, matey. There's still definitely. Yeah, I hope we can beat them. Obviously, none of us are daft. Liverpool are one of the best teams. Good evening, Jack. And cheers, matey. You make me feel ever so bad. Um, we're hoping that we can beat them, and on any given day, any one of us can beat anyone. You're a Liverpool fan. Hey! Who's injured? Who out the Liverpool team isn't playing? Out of curiosity, because as a Forest fan, I'd like, it's interesting to know. We're missing our captain, Graben. Our captain is out, but he's been out for weeks. So, in a lot of ways, Keenan Davis. Did you see that goal after 17 seconds? That was bloody amazing. Yeah, I've heard Salah's apparently injured. Apparently. They always say that. Then all of a sudden they start playing. Hop House. We've took out some big teams, matey. And just recently, even when we're beaten, we don't know we're beaten. And we've knocked Leicester and Arsenal out, last year's winners, and the Arsenal, the team that's won it the most times. Good evening, Mr. Bolton. How are you, matey? Yeah, I think they're slim, mate, but there's always a chance. I didn't think we'd get past Leicester, to be fair. And to be honest, I didn't think we'd get past Arsenal either. Although Arsenal were crap. And Leicester were no better. 6 o'clock tomorrow night, the game. Yeah, I'm struggling to get back for it. So the minute I get back, the game's going on, and I've got a live booked in for tomorrow. I booked a live watch along, so whenever I'm back home, even if it's 15 minutes late, I'll be on that bloody live, and hopefully no goals have been scored too early. But I'll get me laptop all charged up and all that. The Leicester game was amazing. It's a pity that Leicester fans before the game smashed up 2 or 3 pubs in Nottingham. No need for it. There was children in them pubs. Banter is brilliant. Taking the piss out of teams amongst adults is brilliant. Smashing pubs up in front of kids is fucking disgusting. Yeah, I think we're a point or two off the playoffs, matey. We did falter a few weeks ago. I've had a loss and a few draws, but we're back up there now, and we're in some cracking form. And the way we are this year, I mean, you look at the support, 28,000 the other day, and that was a midweek game. We haven't had that support since the 80s. So when we really were one of the best teams, Wolves got robbed. Yeah, that Wolves and Leeds game was a good game as well, apparently, from what I've heard, anyway. Yeah, we're losing at least 3 or 4 of our first team bolted on players, but we've still got some cracking players. And our pals, they're playing out their skin. They really are. Steve Cooper is for Forest what Brian Clough was. is somebody whose heart and soul, Forest. He sees what we are. He's playing to strengths. He's bringing young players in. He's doing it. The football's being played on the floor. It's not, yeah, let's just kick it in the air all the time. Obviously, you do it now and again. But the game's being played the way we all like to see football played. Must admit, oh God, bloody comments at the time, they just disappear on me. Van Dijk, no Van Dijk tomorrow. Oh, now that's good from a Forest point of view. But we've lost one of our top players as well, Scott McKenna. He is a cracking player. It's going to be an interesting game. For neutrals, it's going to be really interesting. You know, it's going to be, the Championship is a bloody hard division to get out of. We can't get out. We haven't been able to get out of it for years. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. Liverpool, one of the top 3 teams in the country. So, Forest aren't daft, you know. We expect, I would have thought we'd expect to lose, but you never know. If you beat Liverpool, then it gets very, very interesting. Because if you can beat Arsenal, Leicester, and Liverpool, the 3 big teams, then surely you can beat anyone. We'll see tomorrow. As long as we don't get thumped 7-0, we don't want that shit. You know, losing 2-0, yeah, I'm all right with that. Well, I'm not, but, you know, I can take that. I can't fucking take getting battered. You know, and that's the last thing that any of us want to see. I'm always remember that time Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Man United fucking beat us 8-1. 8-1. And yeah, the goalie, Bryce Samba, he got sent off the other week, put a different goalie in, Horvath, whatever his name is, and he's actually playing out of his skin. So we've actually got a goalkeeper. The second goalkeeper is actually playing better than the first. So I hazard a guess he may stay in for tomorrow. Bryce Samba needed a bit of a telling off. So, yeah. Whoa. And there we go. So, looking forward to the craft beer festivals this year. Anybody going to beer festivals around them? Derby Beer Festival in 2 weeks' time. Not going because we've got commitments already. Yeah, mate, we have got some momentum. Definitely got some momentum. It's going to be interesting tomorrow. If the real Forest show up tomorrow, Derby are in for a flipping good match. Does Henderson still play for Man United? No idea. I know Ronaldo does. And Pogba. Fucking Pogba. I'd never have brought him back. Pogba's been such a shit fucking player. Yeah, I've got a great manager though. You know, make no mistake about it. Klopp is a great manager for Liverpool. You know, over the last few years, Liverpool have done bloody well winning they did win the European Cup, didn't they? Champions League. Won the Premiership. You know, they've done well. They did win the Champions League, didn't they? I wasn't dreaming it. Telford Beer Fest. So yeah, I'm doing Nottingham Craft Beer Festival in June. I'm doing the Castle Rock Yard Party, which is their version of a beer festival, at the Vat and Fiddle. So it's at Castle Rock's brewery, which is really interesting. And as far as I know, you get a brewery tour included in the price of a ticket. So the ticket's something like 12 quid, I think. And I've already paid, so I can't remember the price. and you get a brewery tour. I've already had a brewery tour. I had a one-on-one brewery tour, so that was really nice. Got to go around with the head brewer, the social media woman, and one of the workers who's a mate. So got to go around and see the whole brewery as it is. And that's great, to get a brewery tour in part of your price. That's great. And there'll be beers, special beers brewed for that. They've got a pilot kit, and I'm hoping to get an invite down to go on. Pogba for France in that World Cup was absolutely amazing. And you've got to remember that Pogba was a Man U player before he went abroad. So they let him go abroad. And I think they let him go because he was a bad influence. And he obviously did his thing abroad. And in the World Cup, he was exceptional for France in the World Cup. Came back to Man United for 100 million and has been shite ever since. And I think you're right, he's overrated. And it's sad really for Man U because with Ronaldo there, you'd like to see Ronaldo lift the title again. The world's best player, for me, needs to be in a squad where he's, to sign out. I'd like to see him win. I mean, never liked him when him and Rooney, but Rooney, he's at Derby, so we don't care about Rooney anyway. But when he got Rooney sent off and winked at him, that was funny, that was. And when you look at it now, at the time, it wasn't funny at all. Oh, that was absolutely amazing. Oh, just making sure. I think you're right. He's done nothing in England. He has. He has done nothing. And when you look at players that went to Chelsea back in the day, there was that Argentinian. What was his bloody name? They signed him for silly money. And bald-headed bloke. Can't remember his bloody name. And he did shit for Chelsea as well. Yeah, Man United, they're not having a good time, are they? They haven't got the right manager, I don't think. Alex Ferguson was, without a doubt, somebody like Cloughy, a once in a lifetime manager. You get those managers. I mean, yeah, you still got to spend the money to bring the players in. That's granted in this day and age. But it's what you do with that team that makes a difference. You can spend billions, but if the team's not a team, you're still not going to win, are you? I mean, at the moment, Steve Cooper for Forest, he's not spent hardly any money on players, and yet the team he's got and he's turned into are playing out of their skins. That is a proper manager. Winston Bogart, don't remember him, mate. No, 40k a week. If only. I'd love to be getting 40k a week. Fucking hell. And that was between 99 and 03. Wreck It Ralph. Who's Wreck It Ralph? What, the manager? You Wreck It Ralph. Chris Wilder. I'd like to see. I mean, I do think that possibly David Moyes would have been a better manager for Man United. He wasn't given long enough. Alex Ferguson's seen it in him. And is he at West Ham now? David Moyes. I struggle to think where he's at. But West Ham are doing really, really well. Forest have chucked a lot of money away as well over the years. Pochettino will do well at Man United, I think. Yeah. He did well at Tottenham, didn't he? I mean, I don't know what happened at Tottenham. I don't think he had the ability to sign players, because their chairman's a bit quite, what's the word, um, tight with his cash. I was thinking the Stroot, not Stroot. What's the fucking word? Can't think of the word. No, no, the word's gone. Premium export Pilsner. Carlsberg. Carlsberg's all right as a drink. Is that standard Carlsberg? I mean, I know what they call it, a premium export, but um, Carlsberg's all right. Like all these lagers, they're all drinkable. I mean, they're all forgettable as well. Lagers these days, I actually prefer a lager with taste and a bit of ABV, but taste more than just ABV. Ooh, Forest versus Leeds in the Premier League, yeah, yeah. We've given Leeds some jabber over the years. Can't handle big personalities. You need a manager who can handle the big personalities. You've got to put them in their place. Mourinho, yeah, he was good, really, really good at the start, but these days he's not the player. He's not the manager he once was. That's for sure. Oh, it's a 4.8% version, right? Yeah, not sure I've drank it then, or if I have, I can't remember drinking it. So there's another thing. The beers that you can remember drinking are the ones that you really stick out, aren't they? Anyway, better crack on. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. That is one amazing Imperial Stout, and it's brewed by me. Oh, and from a kit as well. It's not. I'm no proper brewer, although I am going to go down the brew in a bag route soon. So I will be grain brewing at some stage this year, whether the wife buys me it or I go out and buy it myself, treat myself. But I will be grain brewing at some stage this year, albeit in small batches, obviously. But 11.5%. The taste is just absolutely amazing. Good evening, Shane. How are you? Um, Flipping aroma, taste, leather, boozy, chocolate, coffee. Um, just bloody off the charts. And in a £15 glass as well. Bear in mind. Yeah, I've heard that, Bolton. Somebody was on the other night. I think it might have been Bramall actually, on about brewing an Imperial. Somebody was anyway, and saying that the brew in a bag was too big to get all the grain in to do an Imperial Stout. And that'll be interesting. I mean, I'm all good actually just doing beer works for the Imperial Stouts. What I'm more interested in doing um, for the brew in a bag is the likes of some of the local grain kits that have come out. Local breweries in Nottinghamshire doing their own grain kits, like the Bang the Elephant and Neon Raptor, Lantern Lane, and that's really interesting for me because it's commercial beer, but put into a kit for you to brew, and as close as you can get it at least. That to me is really interesting. Obviously, there are going to be limitations in boiling a bag, I suppose, or brewing a bag, whatever you call it, because you're not going to be able to get it exactly the same. I would assume, anyway. I don't know. I ain't done it, but there might be some change in the way you do things. But obviously, for the fermentation side, once it goes to that side of things, it should be the same. Ah, rightio. I think with Beer Works, they actually do. They actually do a grain version of it as well, you know. Yeah, if I see it, I'll have to get it, Henry. Definitely. No, I've not done the Canadian kit from Wilco's. I need to do it. It's on my to-do list, as is lots of other things, to be fair. Right. Gotta run. Didn't intend to be on for nearly an hour. Gonna get a bollocking. Hop House. Which of the North Stars was it? Was it almond, hazelnut, or the number three, the Black Forest? That's quite interesting. And you had it on keg. Bugger. I'd love to have that on keg. Exactly, Benjamin. Yeah. That would be awesome. To have it on draft in a can, it's bloody amazing. But to have it on keg, which one was it? Almond, hazelnut, Black Forest Gatto? Bloody hell. Oh, you know that moment when you need to sober up before you go back up the house? Well, I need to sober up. Oh, the Imperial Plum Porter. Oh, we need updates on that. ABV and number three. Oh, right. That is interesting then. Because North Star 1 was amazing. I mean, I might have to do a Death Star versus, I might have to do a battle of the supermarket beers, the best supermarket beers, possibly putting North Star 3 versus Death Star 2 versus Imperial Banana. Yeah, be an expensive battle, mind you. What's this? Gonna get the red card. Yeah, no, I need to sober up on the walk back to the house. But thank you for everyone joining tonight. Bit of an impromptu live, but I need to keep doing them. Yeah, versus the wife, I know, bollocking. I need to keep doing them because the more I don't do them, the less I want to do them. But the more I do them, the more I get used to doing them. Death Star versus Wraggy Homebrew. That would be interesting. Ooh, that would be very interesting. Commercial versus homebrew. That is interesting. Oh, can now go live and do a battle of Northern Monks, Pales versus Sakis. Hey, fair play, fair play. Right, gotta run. Gonna get a bollocking anyway. Cheers all, and thank you for watching. See you soon. Cheers.